Welcome and good evening. My name is Craig Collins. I'm a master sommelier based in Austin, Texas, and it's an absolute honor to be here at the Stanwich tonight for this unique opportunity to present the Ornellaia winery to you. Ornellaia, as a lot of you know, is one of the top producers in Italy, arguably one of the top producers in the world, and Italian wine is very near and dear to my heart. I first fell in love and became passionate with Italian wine while doing a study abroad in Tuscany in the early 2000s. And I'm not going to take you to some of the regions that you've been to, such as Chianti Classico, Montalcino, and Montepulciano, but we're going to virtually go to a region that might be new to some of you, and that is Bolgheri. So we're going to move to the coast of Tuscany, and that is the heart of the Bolgheri region. This is a young region, only about 25 years old. It is also a very small region with only about 50 producers. The region sits right on the coast, and so it has this beautiful Mediterranean climate, enjoying very warm, oftentimes hot days and very cool nights. That diurnal shift, or the temperature change between day and night, is absolutely crucial for the growing conditions of the Cabernet Sauvignon, the Merlot, and the Cabernet Franc that really thrives in this area. We see those grape varieties thrive other regions in the world, such as Napa Valley, such as Bordeaux. But I think what makes the wines from Bolgheri unique is that kind of sun-kissed warmth that I know you're going to get to experience tonight. Before we dive into the actual wines, I wanted to spend a brief moment and talk about the pedigree of Ornellaia's estate. This is really, truly one of the most coveted wineries in the world. Established in 1982, it is the second oldest producer in the region, so they are godfathers of the area. Ornellaia maintains 270 acres right on that Italian coast, making 6 different wines, and we get to experience 5 of them tonight. The first wine that we're going to get to enjoy is one of their white wines. This is the 2017 Poggio Algazze del Ornellaia. This is a white wine blend that is dominated by the Sauvignon Blanc grape. There is also a little bit of Vermentino as well as a little bit of Viognier in this blend. You're really going to see that Viognier the second you put this wine in the glass and start to smell it. There's this beautiful floral bouquet that lifts out of it, and that is the Viognier portion of this blend. For the amuse-bouche tonight, Chef has paired this Poggio Algazze with a baked clam. That clam is going to have this delicious little salinity, similar to all shellfish that we love. And the Sauvignon Blanc, specifically the acidity of that Sauvignon Blanc, is going to match perfectly with that salinity in that clam. As we move into the second course, our wine is going to be the 2018 La Volta del Ornellaia. This is a red wine blend from the area, dominated by Merlot with a little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon and just a kiss of Sangiovese. What you're going to see is that the Merlot is going to give it this really nice plum characteristic, where that Sangiovese is really going to lift the edges and give the wine verve. It's going to make you want to have another sip of it. That Sangiovese is also adding a soft kind of dried herbaceousness, almost think like a rosemary. With this course, we're going to be doing a pasta cingale. Cingale, as a lot of you know, is an indigenous wild boar that is native to the Tuscan area. I think this dish is going to work perfectly because there's a saying that I like to mention, which is, if it grows together, it goes together. And what I mean by that is matching the food from the area with the wine from the area. It's always a really nice match. As we move into that third course, we're going to have the 2018 Le Serre Nuove. This is the second wine of Ornellaia. And for any of you that collect or drink Bordeaux on a regular basis, you're probably familiar with the second wine idea. It is the idea of everything is from the estate, everything is meticulously followed to the same procedures and purposes of the first wine. It's typically not aged quite as long. The La Serre Nuove is aged for 12 months versus 18 months on the Ornellaia, and the vines are a little bit younger. What that does is it makes a wine that is more drinkable and approachable in its youth, not a wine that you need to lay down for the next 10 or 20 years. With that 2018 La Serre Nuove, we are going to be doing a lamb loin. What I like about this pairing is there's a beautiful tannin structure to the La Sierra Nueve, you're going to experience it with kind of a drying sensation on your palate. That tannin is going to work really well to cut through the richness of that awesome piece of lamb. That lamb is also dusted with a little bit of porcini. You're going to pick up some of those kind of mushroom organic characteristics from the terroir of Burgundy. You'll see that in that wine, and it will complement that porcini crumble very nicely. Moving on to our fourth course, we're going to be experiencing a flagship of the estate, the 2017 Ornellaia. This is a Cabernet Sauvignon dominated blend with some Merlot, Cabernet Franc, and Petit Verdot. It is aged for 18 months with some new oak characteristics. That new oak flavor is going to be well-rounded and integrated into the wine. So you'll get some baking spices, you'll get a little bit of a smoky note. You're also going to be able to pick up some coffee or espresso characteristics. Truly one of the most sought after wines in the world. The 2017 vintage was absolutely stellar. A little bit warmer. The winemaker named it the Solare, or the solar or the sun, because of the warmth, but you'll see it in the glass. It's expressive with really beautiful ripe fruit and drinking pretty amazing at this point. With that wine, we're going to be doing the veal cheeks. That veal cheek also has an espresso rub, and I think it's that espresso rub that's going to make this pairing be knocked out of the park. What we're going to see is that espresso characteristic on that veal complementing the kind of coffee note from that oak aging on the wine. And finally, the wine that I'm actually most excited about for y'all, that's the 2013 Ornis. The reason I'm so excited, this is a late harvest style dessert wine from a funky grape called Petit Mansing. You'll get this beautiful peach and kind of orange marmalade characteristic. The reason I'm so excited is I've actually only had this wine once in my life. This is a wine that is typically only available at the estate. You have to go there to experience it. But for you tonight at the Stanwich, Ornellaia made an exception, and you're getting to experience that 2013. Should pair perfectly with the Meyer Lemon Tart. I really wish I could be there in person with you this evening, but since I can't, I would give a long-distance virtual cheers. Thank you for having me tonight. Enjoy the evening. Salud.